Welcome to The Grind. This is the weekly program where we talk about the sermon that we just heard last weekend. And we have Rico and Nathan for today.
Hello.
What's up? And so we've been on this series, the Be Kind series, and we've been looking at unfailing kindness, unforgettable kindness, ultimate kindness, and today we're going to be discussing unusual kindness. And it is basically an uncommon, unexpected, and unnatural kindness, right? So he's sharing about the story of Paul, on his way to Rome, and they get shipwrecked and they end up on the island of Malta, which apparently is like really small and insignificant. But I was Googling pictures of Malta and it looks pretty nice. It looks like a really great tourist attraction. I mean, maybe back in the day it was kind of junk, but I mean, I wouldn't mind being shipwrecked on Malta. It looks super nice.
I'd go there for a holiday.
Exactly. If we can, whenever we can. But anyways, so basically the islanders there, they're people from Malta, the Malta Island.
Maltesers.
Okay, so these people, they welcome all 276 people onto their island, which is unusual. I mean, technically, they're invading their space. They didn't have to, but they showed unusual kindness and welcomed them on the island. So, I guess when you guys move to a new neighborhood, like, how would you want people to welcome you?
Food. Should be food.
I concur.
That was a little too quick.
I mean,
You had that loaded and ready to go.
Yes, definitely. Food's the way to go, bro.
I agree. Actually, I agree. Nathan?
Just leave me be.
Malta isn't a place where they expected to land. Like Paul, I don't think he mapped it on his journey. Like, oh, check out Malta. It says it's a small and insignificant island. Maybe it was never discovered. And maybe because of Paul, Malta is now the tourist attraction of the day. Again, I'm making this up. I probably don't know. I'm probably very, very wrong. Just don't forget to fact check me.
These are not verified.
Yeah,
facts.
not verified. Petrina doesn't know what she's talking about. Anyways, so Malta, as like what Pastor had said, is a place that you never plan on landing or going. The season that you find yourself stuck in. And I'm sure, we're here, been stuck in situations where we didn't expect to be. So, you guys have anything that you want to share about, situations that you found yourself stuck in, that you didn't expect yourself to be stuck in?
Actually, this particular season of COVID is one
I think
situation we're all stuck in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everyone can relate to that.
I said, when will it be over? When is this disease over?
I think if we wouldn't feel so stuck if there was like an end date.
I mean, that would be nice.
I expect
right?
to be traveling in 2024.
Oh man, that's so
wow.
far.
Maybe.
I mean, that's long, but yeah. I mean, then again, only God knows the end date, and the only thing we can do is really trust God in this season of COVID. That hey, He's still holding everything together.
And help each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
And help
You
each
kind
other.
of help each other.
Yeah. In this season, don't wait for the pandemic to be over. You can look for opportunities to help each other.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I think besides being stuck in a place that you didn't expect to be, like COVID, yes, for sure. I'm just reminded of this one time where being jobless for a while, that was actually quite painful because I didn't expect myself to be jobless, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's normal to be jobless after you come out of uni and maybe for a couple of months, but I was jobless for about 8 months. That was a tough waiting time. Because I'm all ready to go change the world, get a job, be all independent, and then I'm just stuck at home.
So the world said no.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Hang on. I mean, setting out applications, I mean, I guess I wasn't I guess I wasn't qualified for stuff or too qualified. I don't know. I mean, I ended up just watching a lot of TV and Korean dramas. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's really not a good use of time. But, in a sense, even though I went through that was still someone who showed me kindness. I mean, they didn't have to. It was an unusual act of kindness. They went out their way because, again, this person knew that I was looking for a job, and then she came in, and I guess I chatted with her because I was, visiting my mom in the church office, and then she was said oh, I heard you're looking for a job. Here's a job interview if you still want to go. Check it out. I was like, okay, cool. And then I ended up getting this job at this school teaching English within the span of no joke. 3 hours.
So you can say
Oh,
that
that's
she's
not bad.
your Malta Islander.
Yeah, she's my Malta Islander, or what Nathan would say,
Malteser.
she's my Malteser.
He's been waiting for that.
I was like, please.
Yes, that is my Malteser. Yep, she was my Malteser.
Wow.
Yep, so I'm thankful for that situation where that person extended that act of kindness and I was able to get a job. So, but yeah, I guess the question thing about is like, what is our response, when you're like stuck in the waiting time, right? Like in season, like do we respond in faith? Do we look to God or, and who knows, like God may just bring people along your way to show you kindness and maybe also even use you in your waiting season to extend kindness to others. So like then, going back to like the sermon, right? So like Pastor Ed went through the story of Paul, being welcomed by the islanders and then, he's setting up a fire, right?
Yeah.
And getting a bunch of sticks, puts them in the fire and the viper comes out and like, I guess bites him.
No.
Right? So the islanders are like, oh wow, like, this guy must be like a bad guy or something, a murderer, because, and this happened. Like, he's running away and justice, has not escaped him, the viper, but then like Paul just pretty much just shakes off the snake. Into the fire. I mean, that's
perfect place for snakes to be.
And then the Maltesers were expecting that he would
I
get...
can't believe you're actually calling me out.
Yeah, they were expecting that he would get poisoned and die.
but then he lived. So they're like,
Yes.
wow, amazed, right? It is possible that, there are situations where, even though you show kindness and, you think it's kindness, but people might just throw it back to your face, right? Like, I did share before when I was talking about unforgettable kindness about like, David was showing kindness to the king of the Ammonites, like his son, and then they're like, no thanks, and then like kind of threw kindness back his face. I mean, so there are times where people might just actually attack you and accuse you wrongly. And,
Yeah.
I guess what would your response be, in such a time like this?
It is always hard to sort of, turn the other cheek?
Yeah, like,
and
hey, slap me here, slap me, how about here on this other side?
Yeah, because that hurts. But I do feel like I just need to go back to God in a way. Because, there's no way it ends well if you, escalate it, right?
Yeah.
And, return like for like. But if you go to God, give it up to God and surrender it, then I feel like for me that's easier to just take it and move on.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think your pride will say, no, you can't take this.
Yeah.
Somebody's done you.
Yeah.
But again, that's your pride talking, I think.
Because it could really be so painful, right?
Yeah.
You had the very best intention to show kindness, but then people just accuse you and say, oh, you're not this, and you're actually they basically believe a lie of you, which is so strange because you're just generally believe that you're trying to be kind, that you're doing what you can. And
Didn't Pastor Ed say, don't get bitter, get better?
yeah, that is a great line. Don't get bitter, get better. So literally shaking off the disappointment, shaking off the hurt. Not everywhere, because you hear hurt people, right?
Yeah.
So obviously there's anger.
An eye for an eye.
Yeah, pretty much. Anger displacement. This is a true thing I learned in psychology. You let's say you get angry and then you pass. Even though I'm having a great day and I experience your anger, and I would then pass off the anger to say Nathan if I meet him later, that kind of thing. So don't shake the anger and disappointment everywhere, but in a way shake it into Jesus. And allow God to work on your behalf. So so then we see how Paul just and everyone's hanging out at the island, and the chief man is called Publius. And he's been the one who's entertaining them and for 3 days, and his dad gets sick. So in a sense you see it like a return of kindness, right? Because Paul comes and prays for him and lays hands on him and he is healed. It's just amazing to see that these islanders, they didn't have any reason to be hospitable to Paul and the 276 people that got shipwrecked. They could have just left them on the island and kind of just you do your own thing.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. If I have 276 people coming to my house, sorry, not here, not present. Don't come in. But
I bet Nathan is gonna be the same thing. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Sorry, closed.
There's only room for one in here.
But it's a big island, I suppose. They welcomed them, they took care of them, and and then Paul returns the favor in a sense, prays for healing, and so there is a cycle of kindness, and you never know who you can be hospitable to, right? Was that verse don't be afraid to what was that verse? Don't fear to show hospitality because you may entertain angels. There is that verse. I just forget what verse that is, but
Ben, can you put it on the screen, please? Thanks.
And so your kindness to others would never be in vain. Would never be in vain. And throughout this series, right? Did you guys have any takeaway points from this series?
I think one thing that I really like the most is the fact where, was it Paul?
Yes, it's
Paul, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Paul was being accused and he got bitten in his hand.
Yeah.
But that was the same hand that actually healed the chief.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That was actually.
So
really
I think
cool.
that was
Really good.
really amazing where God showed His power through Paul's hand,
Yeah.
which was bitten by a snake, but ended up. Well, technically, like we can translate
Yeah.
being bitten by a snake as a curse, but it turned out into a blessing by healing that chief.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
think that one is a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the whole series it's just a reminder that kindness is actually a choice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time you have to choose to be kind. You can choose not to,
Yeah.
because
Actually.
that's the other way to go. But it is ultimately a choice, and one that even God had to make at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, that's true actually.
And he chose to, not smite his people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think whenever there is a choice, choose kindness.
Yeah.
As difficult as that might be sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and one thing I love what Pastor had said is that God can use your story to kind of bring healing to others as well. You can use your story to heal people, to touch people, to reach people. So, and I just love what he says, that we're not a victim, but we're not a victor. And so, I mean, that's through Jesus that we are victorious. And so, yeah, acts of kindness, they do impact life, and at the end, they can transform society, can transform community. And I think that's amazing, is that one act can just go into another. It's a cycle, and the world can get turned upside down, which is what I am so excited for, to see this world like just really changed for Jesus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess, again, like what Pastor had said, don't wait for the pandemic to be over. Look for opportunities to show kindness. So that's our encouragement to you. In the chat, feel free to just write down, type out ways that you're going to show kindness, this week or this month or moving forward. And yeah, again, this about wraps up our time here.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know any feedback, any comments, any questions. We'd love to hear from you. And that is that. Join us next time. We're going to be on a new series. It's called The Ascent. We're super excited for that.
Yep.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.